Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to be here with you today. It's a beautiful day outside. It's plus 32 today. Not a fall weather for sure, but it is, I think, our last hot day like this hot anyways. I also just wanted to say thank you to all my new subscribers, and thank you to all my subscribers who've been with me for a while now. I so appreciate you every day. And I look forward to, oops, I just hit the table on my thing. Look forward to talking with you guys and sharing all my things that I do, and I appreciate you listening to me. So today I wanted to go over some things that I freeze to save money. Since I've been in the kitchen so much this past little while, I figured this was a good thing to share. So let's get started. Number one is meat. Pretty much any kind of meat you can freeze. I would think I freeze every meat that I buy, from roast chicken, turkey, ham, sandwich meats, bacon and hot dogs, all kinds of meat. And those are basically the only meat that I buy. And then obviously like ground beef and that kind of ground meats and sausages and pretty much everything. That's all I buy. Number two, coffee. I have a couple of the big containers of coffee in my freezer, and then I keep one out that we use daily, or not. I don't drink coffee every day, but on the weekends that's when we make coffee. And then flour, I do keep one of my flours in the freezer because just to keep it nice and fresh. And then my flaxseed, because it can go bad if you keep it out. So I always either keep it in the fridge or in the freezer. Number three, fruit. All kinds of fruit. I also, especially when you buy fruit and then it's, you know, getting to be really, really ripe and it's way too ripe or juicy that you want to eat it. So I do freeze that, and then I use it in smoothies or baking. And then sometimes we just buy far too much, and then right away I know, you know what, I'm not going to eat that whole container of strawberries, so I'm just going to freeze them right away so that they don't go bad. And especially now when you're getting lots of stuff for free or from your garden or your trees you might have. Like I'm getting a bunch of apples today from my dad, and I'm super excited about that. So I'm going to be freezing most of them so that I can cook and bake with them all summer long. Or did I say summer? I meant winter long till next year. Then obviously strawberries, blueberries, grapes, raspberries, juice from your lemons, oranges, limes, and your zest from all your citrus fruit, apples, peaches, nectarines. I also do pineapples and mangoes, and that's basically all that I buy. Vegetables. Oh, and also if you do have canned fruit and you don't eat it all and you're worried about it going bad, I have frozen that as well, and then I just throw it in a smoothie and it's delicious. And then you don't even have to add sugar anymore because of the syrup. Number four, vegetables. I have frozen pretty much every kind of vegetable, from cucumbers. Obviously I don't eat them like I don't use them in a salad after that. I will cook them and make this German cucumber dish with them, or I use them in my smoothies. I freeze spinach, Swiss chard, avocado, broccoli, cauliflower, corn, beans, green beans, ginger. I do freeze my ginger. I've been doing that for years now, because before I would buy it and it would sit in my fridge and then I would forget about it, and now I just keep it right in front in my freezer, and then I just grate it anytime that I need it. Tomatoes, I either chop them up or I just throw them in there whole, and then when I'm ready to use them I make sauces or use them in chili, whatever. Carrots, pretty much everything except for lettuce. Even I've frozen asparagus, and that's about all that I buy. But yeah, not lettuce. I mean, you could and then use it in a smoothie possibly, but I just prefer my lettuce to be fresh. Number 5, all my homemade breads, my buns, my muffins, cookies, cakes, even noodles. But you gotta be careful with noodles, especially if they're already cooked. I undercook them so that they're firm, and then when you take them out, they're not completely mushy, because if you overcook them and then freeze them, then they're gonna be very mushy. So I do that with spaghetti and stuff. And even my homemade noodles, I will freeze those and then just cook them when I'm ready. And they're very, very delicious. Number 6, soups, gravies, broths, all kinds of broths. Vegetable, ham, chicken, turkey. I have not done beef broth yet, but I have done everything else. And then number 7, spaghetti and pizza sauces, and that I make a big batch and then I will freeze the extra so I don't have to make it every time. Cheese, just remember with cheese though, to shred it if you want to use it on things, because when you freeze it whole, it's really hard to cut without it crumbling, and you can't really shred because it just completely falls apart on you. So yeah, I just shred it, and I have thrown it in there whole, and you can still use it. Like I said, it's just really hard to deal with it, but I'd rather freeze it and still be able to use it just than it going bad in my fridge. Yogurt, I freeze yogurt. I used to freeze it when I bought it, if I bought too much, and then or on purpose, I would freeze the extra and then just keep the one in the fridge until it was gone. Now I make my own, so I always keep a starter in my freezer, and then when I'm ready to make my next batch, I take it out, thaw it, and then make it, which I'm going to be doing this week. And then sour cream, you can use it in your gravies and your cooking for different dishes, even in your baking. So I have frozen that. Milk, I freeze all the time because it's very expensive here. So when I get it on clearance, I will buy a few extra and then freeze them. And then you just shake it up really good once it's thawed, and it's like it was never frozen. And then garlic, I often will peel it and then put it in a jar and then freeze it and then take it out and chop it up. Sometimes if I have a lot of time, I'll just chop it all up and then throw it in a little jar container and then freeze it, depending on how much time I have. Green onions, parsley, dill, basil, pretty much any kind of herbs that you have. Cilantro, but I don't like cilantro, so yeah, those are the basic ones that I do. Parsley, dill, green onions, and then I chop them up and then I put them in either a little container or a Ziploc, and then I freeze those. And you can also freeze regular onions like red onion, yellow onion, sweet onion, white onion, any kind of onion. Chop it up and then put it in a Ziploc bag or a container, and then you can use it in your soups, your stews, or your sauteing, your stir fries, whatever that you want, or you can cook them and then freeze them. Doesn't really matter which way you do it. And then number 14, eggs. You can freeze eggs. Not that I have frozen them, I think once or twice before, but I usually use them up before they go bad, so I don't really need to. And I don't have chickens or anything yet, so I don't have an overabundance of eggs. But what you do is you just crack them, you break them open, and then you put them in a container, and then you freeze them until you need them. Actually, you know what? I do this a lot when I'm baking and it asks for only the egg white or the egg yolk, and then I don't know what to do the rest, so I will freeze it until I'm making like a big batch of pancakes, scrambled eggs, or French toast or something like that. Then I'll thaw it, then I'll add it in with the rest so it gets used up. And yeah, so that's what I normally do. I don't, just to keep from throwing that other half of the egg away. And then my last couple ones are homemade fruit juices. So when I make apple juice and choke cherry juice, and I would like to try making grape juice, but I haven't done that yet anyway. It's mostly just apple and cherry, choke cherry juice. So I make that, and then you could, like I said in my apple video, you can use the juice for making a ton of other things. my DIY popsicles using whatever leftovers I have, homemade juices, or, you know, jams and jellies, and or I will. Hi, sorry, so my phone ran out of space again. Really gotta start using my camera. Anyways, so I was on popsicles, and my last tip is basically, you know, leftovers. Whenever I cook too much or cook a lot of one food, I will freeze leftovers for a whole nother dinner, so I don't have to cook that day, and I don't feel like I need to make or go get fast food or whatever. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful, fabulous day, and I will see you next time. Bye!